Today we're going to show you how to do the timing belt on your Subaru. We're working on a 2013 STI. Here are the parts you're going to need. We're replacing ours with an all aluminum radiator because we're not reusing our plastic one because it's over 12 years old. You're also going to need a timing belt and water pump kit, and you're also going to need coolant. We decided to run Toyota pink coolant in our car, so we have about 2 and a bit gallons. We're also replacing the radiator hoses and the radiator caps for the car. We also have some random hoses that are coolant hoses that we're going to be changing because ours are pretty old and they're crusty. And of course, you need the timing belt, the tensioner, the water pump, and the bearings. We bought ours as a kit, so it all came together. And now it's time to put all of this in that car. So one thing that makes life a little easier is a coolant funnel bucket that we put on the expansion tank. In the past, I didn't use this and coolant went everywhere and it ran down my engine and it smelled terrible. I just invested in one of these. It actually works really well. And it comes with multiple attachments, so it fits Hondas, Nissans, Subarus, and all that stuff. It's not an ad, this is just a pro tip. And Justin's over there nodding, which means you know that's the right thing. We drove our car about an hour south to get this job done today. So we put a couple fans on the STI and let it cool down. What are we getting?
We're going to drain the fluids, the coolant.
Okay. Oh!
Take the hoses off. You know, anything we need to get the radiator out. We got this cover right here.
Yeah. So we have the alternator cover right here. We have the radiator shroud right here. Yeah. The snorkel right here. You probably won't have to do this because you might not have a skid plate like this, but for your car, you can just put it on jack stands and get your splash tray on. Most Subarus have plastic ones that are pretty easy to get to. This one's a little bit more intricate. We're gonna get this off so we have access to the thermostat and the radiator hose at the bottom.
I'm going to take these electrical connectors off. Push the little tab, disconnect both sides. Over here, number 3 Phillips. Crack this loose.
Oh! Oh!
Ah!
Are you okay?
This stuff, if you drink enough, you'll die. So, is the camera okay? That's all that matters. Yeah. That was under some pressure, bro.
Wow.
I thought I took the cap off the top. Pro tip, take off the cap. Makes it a little easier. I didn't do that earlier.
And you won't get coolant in your mouth.
It tastes like Gatorade.
You go rinse your mouth off.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Make sure to remove your radiator cap and expansion tank cap so your coolant drains smoothly and you don't get a mouthful of coolant like Justin did. How's your mouth? Don't taste coolant. Don't do what he did.
It's toxic.
Whatever you do not taste coolant. If you get it in your mouth, go rinse it out right away. Don't do what he did, okay?
Look at that. The coolant is drained. Now time to install the drain plug. Very carefully twisting in a clockwise motion with a slight upward thrust to tighten the plug into the plastic radiator, which we are going to replace because it's plastic.
After you have the coolant drained, you can remove the lower radiator hose, and we use WD-40 as a lubricant and a pick to break the tension between the rubber hose and the radiator. After that, we lowered the car and removed all of the stuff in the way. And then this now pops out. So pro tip, if you have a factory radiator and you have plastic end tanks on them like this, and if the plastic looks brown, that means it's time to change it because it will start leaking. So what he's doing here is, over time with all the heat cycles, the hose just bonds to the plastic, and if you twist it around and pry the rubber away from the radiator, it makes it a lot easier to get it off. Oh, wow.
See?
So for some of these cars, you might want to take this bottle out, the overflow bottle, but for this car, this wasn't that difficult. And there you go. That is the old radiator out of the car. With the radiator and fans out, there's a lot more space to work with in the engine bay, and after that, we took off the alternator cover.
It's covered.
Okay, so the next step is we're going to try and make some more space here. So we're going to get the old radiator hose out, and then we're going to get the power steering, alternator, and air conditioning belt off. This car has a slightly different system. You said it's a tension belt.
It's got a stretch belt.
So it's a stretch belt. Let me show you what the factory one looks like for other Subarus if you have anything older than this. If you have this car, what you're going to have to do is loosen this bolt down here, and then you're going to bring this up. So you're going to loosen this, and it's going to bring this pulley up, which is going to release the tension on this belt. And it is the same for the alternator right here. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to break the tension on this bolt right here. And after you do that, you can loosen this, and this is going to be, then you can push the alternator down, which then releases tension on this belt. Oh, this hose is super crusty. So what is this buildup, Justin?
That is
Just old gunk?
sludge
So,
from the antifreeze that builds up in there.
and this hose, it's not too bad. It's still pliable, but we're replacing these. But look at that sludge that's in here. Ew, brother, ew.
Yeah, brother. That's some grade A. Ew.
Yeah.
Right?
If you see any kind of cracking on this belt, so any of these ribs right here, if they're cracked, you should change your belt. Don't reuse the same belt. Don't worry, the condenser's fine. And Impact makes very light work of this.
These you got to inspect. On older Subarus, 15, 20 years and older, these will actually, the rubber in here delaminates.
You may have to do this, you may not have to do this if you have an 11 plus STI. Even WRXs, right, I think have air pumps, so you'll have to deal with this. But if you're working on something older, you won't have this in the way. And there we go. And that's it. You only have to take this piece off. It's a little annoying, but it's only 2 bolts and 1 plastic screw. You can reach all of the 10mm bolts that hold the timing cover on the car. Be careful taking the timing covers off because you don't want to break them. As Justin mentioned, sometimes the back part of it can break, and that's a lot of work because you have to get the cam pulleys off to replace it. And the reason you want these on is if you drive your car, let's say in the real world, anywhere outside, you don't want dust, dirt, grime getting in there and messing with your bearings and all that stuff.
Get them on.
Yeah. So when this comes off, this has a rubber gasket that goes around this, and this is for noise, harshness, and vibration. Make sure you don't lose this. I just pulled this off right here to show you guys. So it comes with this. Inspect this, make sure this isn't broken, make sure it's all good, and then set this aside. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts holding just this centerpiece on. Don't forget that, because if you try to pry it at the top, you might break this at the bottom. Check out this timing belt. So this, I'm glad that we're doing this because this car is now at around 75,000 miles, and this is the original belt that was put on this car 12 years ago. And what's the service interval for belts, Justin?
Typically, it's about 100,000-ish miles, 90 to 110, 115.
Yeah.
And you want to go no longer than maybe 10 years.
Yeah, and this is 12.
Just because it's age, the rubber wears out.
Yeah.
You know.
And this car is 13 years old, so it's definitely time to change that timing belt.
Common for the tension to fail and rattle, and it could sound like or emulate a rod bearing going out. Yeah. So the paper is folded over several times, like 1, 2, 3, probably 4.
So if your car has that and you don't feel comfortable taking it off, leave it on, and you can slide the belt under it onto the gear. So, but it's a little easier to get it on. And you might not notice, but there's one on the top left, so the top passenger side right here, and then on the bottom right on the driver's side, which also does the same thing. It stabilizes the belt on the pulleys, on the cam sprocket pulleys on either side, diagonally.
Two top dead centers on a Subaru, quote unquote. There's a physical top dead center where piston number 1 is pushed up all the way to the top, compression stroke. And then there's the service mode or service.
Where the pistons are all kind of in the middle.
Yeah, that's where the marks are. It's actually, Subaru doesn't show top dead center on the marks per se. They're gonna have it on service mode.
The most important thing to note before you get into the belt and just start removing stuff is take a paint marker and mark exactly where the belt is right now. And we're going to use the old belt to put the new belt on, and we're going to show you how to do that because we actually don't have the proper tool to hold the cam sprocket pulleys at the bottom because this car has the dual AVCS.
We're just doing it backyard mechanics.
DIY stuff.
Normal style.
Yeah.
I mean,
line the marks on the belt up with the pulleys, and then we're going to mark them.
let's see. Spin it around until all the pulleys are lined up. And here.
With a paint pen handy, we marked all of our alignment marks for our timing belt and cam sprockets, and what this does is it makes it really easy to get everything lined up. When the pistons are up all the way, the valves are seated. When the pistons are down, the valves are down because the valves open and then they let whatever's in that combustion chamber out. So exhaust gases escape when the exhaust valves are fully extended.
Trying to teach people how internal combustion works.
I'm
or
letting
what?
people teaching the young generation so they don't get EVs.
No, it's not young.
They deal with these problems
you can
instead.
Learn, you can learn at any age. There's someone watching this video that's 100 years old and they're gonna do their Subaru timing.
If you're 100 years old, drop a comment below and tell us why you're watching this video.
I just want to go home now.
Yeah. Same, but I can't. Normally when you're doing your timing belt, you're also going to want to do your water pump. And we got our timing belt water pump as a kit. So it comes with a brand new water pump, and we bought our thermostat from Subaru. So you want to change the thermostat, the water pump, the timing belt, and all of the pulleys. And make sure you get the gasket. And if you get yourself a higher quality pump like this, it comes with a gasket. This one has a metal gasket which seals the water pump to the block.
A little bit of oil on there because the seal is blown out. It's not completely failed. It probably can go a little longer, but it's a good thing to change it. You can't reuse this one.
To get to the water pump, you have to remove the thermostat housing and the lower radiator hose. After you do that, you can pop out the thermostat and then disconnect the bypass hoses on the right side.
Here, 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 here.
Yamada.
Yamada.
Yamada, Japan.
Yomada. Yeah, Japan.
And the new one is Asin, Japan.
See, there's a little seal. This one's really hard to install with that thing.
And we got the seal for ours too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Clean the surfaces.
Yeah,
We're
so
lucky.
one thing you could still do is take some Scotch-Brite or steel wool and clean up the surface if yours is pitted or has like corrosion on it. Add some Scotch-Brite or the blue side of a sponge or the green side of a sponge will clean that right up. How long would you say this would take for someone that's inexperienced to do, Justin?
About a day.
So this is about a day's work, but it probably will save you about $1,000 to $1,500.
It depends on the parts and like if you're doing the water pump and tensioner and all the pulleys, because some places the timing belt just means the belt.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's shocking.
So if it's cheap, it's because
they're not
it's just
doing
the belt.
everything.
Yeah.
We don't recommend doing that. We recommend changing timing belt, water pump, the pulleys. You want your belt to be flexible and not crusty and hard, because the harder it is, the chances are these teeth will fly off or the belt will break. So it's just like skin. It's just like skin.
It's like skin.
Well, it needs to be moist.
Let's put this one back on since it's still good.
It's not my car. No, we're not putting that one back on.
Don't make that mistake. Always check your belts and all your parts.
Yeah, put your belt in a completely different spot so you don't install the old belt. Ask Justin how he knows.
Yeah, I've done it at least one time where I put the old belt back on the engine and I looked over and the new belt's sitting on the table and I'm like, oh, okay.
While we had everything apart, we decided to change the oil pump seal. This is completely optional and you don't have to do this, but while we were in there, we figured we might as well do it.
The axles. These teeth are what tell the computer what position the engine is in so it can fire the coils and the plugs. This Woodruff key, there's a groove right there, a slot. There's one right down here. Make sure that that doesn't fall when you're putting it back in. It's on there. Make sure that you double check your parts. This is a pain, bro.
That's a noise NVH seal, so this doesn't vibrate against the block and make noise.
Inspect the gasket, make sure no creases. You can have a slight bend, but not a crease. Keep dreaming, car. Gotta put this on. This makes it hard to install.
Makes it hard to slide it into place.
That's definitely what somebody said. This is fun. This is all struggle. Don't do that. Don't put your hand next to lightning in a gear. And
Hot.
don't touch hot. That's good advice.
With the water pump in place, we raised the car to get to the thermostat and thermostat housing and to install the bypass hoses.
You just want to kind of go crisscross, and when it gets close to the base, you want to just do a little bit at a time until it all kind of settles in nice and flat. Then you can do the final torque.
Look at his ratchet.
Yeah, look at this. It's a little baby. It's made in Japan, bro. It's doing a little crisscross applesauce. Oh boy. Here. Push it out of the way.
Dude.
It's nasty. Look at that. It's gross, bro. So I'll hit it with the wire wheel, but I mean, you can just use a wire brush. See my eye protection? Go like that. This right here, slide this over the kink. Thermostat. Okay, we're gonna put it in this way. Is that right? No.
No,
Why?
because it's backwards.
Yeah, it's never gonna open. This is where the hot water is. So you gotta make sure you get the jiggle valve pointing up, and it sits right in this little groove. And make sure you have the new seal on there. Install it. I'd say half the belts that I put on don't, maybe a little less than half, don't have marks. I just want to make sure it's perfect. So this is the one, the crank one, right there. That's good. What I'm going to do is follow this.
So the purpose of doing this is also confirming that your new belt, where the marks are not wrong on it.
Yes, because sometimes it's flipped over the wrong way. It's going to save you time. A little bit extra effort. See, it's spot on. Means you got a good belt. I'm going to go all the way back to the start, and we're good. And this is the upgraded double roller comes standard on all the new EJs. After I think yours 04, 05 up.
Yep.
They started having double rollers. I think it's 03, 04 up.
Yeah.
And that's going to require a different bolt.
If you have this much thread, do not put it on. You need the correct bolt. And what you could do is you could just say, I have a 2004 STI, WRX, whatever, and they'll give you this bolt for this tension.
Yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. See how helpful those marks are? The yellow is so much brighter than the factory white, and eventually the white paint will come off and you'll have to make your own marks.
There it goes. See it jump? It doesn't matter though. I'll mark it. Loose right now. I gotta put the tension around. Oh, that jumped. This is just part of the fun. I might put a little clamp on here to hold it. Light clamp. Nope. Those marks make it way easier to see and mess up. Good Lord, man. I'm struggling today. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put that little thing on there. Just to hold it in place. Good. This is good, because I clamped it. And this is good, this is good. That's lined up. And this is lined up. Get this tensioner. Goes in straight.
28 foot-pounds.
I only got 1 foot. Or, no, I got 2 feet.
You got 2 feet.
I got 2
You
feet.
have 2 feet.
Yeah, so we have them loose.
It's so you can adjust the belt, right?
So the belt has more slack and it's easier to install the tensioner.
But
Passenger side in the US is easy.
also, when you get the tensioner installed, do not pull this pin right here. This is something you do at the very end because that will drop your tensioner, and then as the name states, it will create tension here. So tighten everything else, adjust everything else. This is the last thing that you're going to pull.
I'm leaving this on until the last minute because sometimes if you rotate it, it'll jump and then you have to do it all over again. Go ahead and just go through and look at all the marks again. It's a little bit offset. It's that little dimple. That's correct. It's matching the belt and the mark. We get the mirror because we can't see it. That is spot on. Good. Does that look like it's right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we're spot on everywhere.
And if you want to make sure that it's correct and your valves aren't going to hit your pistons, you can turn the crank. How many rotations is it? 1 or 2 rotations?
You spin it around a couple times.
Yeah.
If you want to be sure, and if you feel any binding, like not the valve being pushed open binding, but it just won't move anymore, then you have a problem. But
that's the piston contacting the valve and not allowing it to spin freely. But if it spins freely for a couple of rotations, that means you're good to go. But you already have these marks that match from the old belt, which already means that you are good to go.
It's 100%, yeah. All the 14s, I'm gonna mark them just to make sure that I remember to torque them.
And there is no specific pattern for this. You can tighten these in whichever order you want.
Okay. Gotta do these.
So you have to, if you remove this piece right here, the stabilizer, you have to put a spacer in between the belt right here, and in between this bracket.
In this case, all the way up is actually where it's supposed to be, like pushed up. And then look at all the other ones. See, they're all good. So those two are pointing at each other, just like before.
The last thing you do is you pull this pin right here. Once you pull this, there's no going back. There you go, that little drop right there, and now the belt has tension, and that's it. Time to put everything back together. Putting the timing cover back on, you start off with the middle first because the other pieces slide over it, and you're going to use these small bolts. Get this in, there we go. This has 3 bolts, and this uses the longer bolts. Go around and just make sure everything is tight.
Snug.
Now that all that stuff is done, we're going to get the crank pulley back on, and we're also going to put the air pump snorkel thing. You guys can skip this step if you don't have this, but we have this, so we're gonna slide that back on. So the pulley only goes on one way, and it slides on. It has a little cutout right here for the little woodruff key, and so you can't put it on incorrectly. So offer it up, and then kind of wiggle it around, and then it'll go on. There you go.
Does it say it on here?
That was 2 Ugga Duggas. Torque for the crank pulley is 133 foot-pounds of torque. One thing to note that's really important, these belts are different widths, so you can't get it wrong. Normally you would use a brand new stretch belt, but we didn't have one, so we made do with what we have.
These are fun, man. There's a better way to do this.
Well, there was a better way, but they undid the better way. They evolved backwards.
Twist it 90 degrees
yeah.
and doesn't go further than that.
So that's all good to go. Now it's time to get the radiator in. We're almost there. Now what we have to do is we have to transfer the factory fans onto our new radiator, and it looks like our replacement radiator came with some nice hardware, so we're going to reuse this. What I'm doing here is I'm using electrical tape to make the mounting point for the fans on the radiator bigger so the fans don't vibrate and make a bunch of noise. With the new radiator in, we installed the new radiator hoses with their new clamps. When you get a new radiator, make sure that all of the fittings are tight. Make sure that both of the fan harnesses are plugged in, and do one last check and make sure everything is tight and clamped down. And with all that checked and done, it was finally time to start the car.
We're good.
We just did a start on the car with no coolant or anything, and you can do that just for a couple seconds just to see if all of our timing and everything was correct, and it was correct. So great job, Justin. High five.
That was close.
Okay, well, okay, all right.
No. Hand hug.
Hand hug, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Am I stupid? Am I doing this wrong? Right. Oh, don't do it. No, don't do it. Oh, no. Oh, he licked it.
Tastes the same.
Oh, it's like anti-seize on his gloves and stuff too.
The heater has to work hot air at idle.
Right. So now we're going to leave this coolant in this funnel bucket, and we're going to start the car and let it idle with the heater on full.
Oh, look at all the bubbles. Look down here. Oh, Andy, you forgot one thing. It's okay. Here's working.
Heater's very hot. Once you stop seeing air bubbles come out of your coolant system and your heater is hot, you are good to go. Just make sure your car holds a steady temperature and the fans kick on. For most Subarus, the fans kick on at 205 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is how you do the timing belt on your Subaru. Depending on if you own a turbo or an NA car, that's where the difficulty is. If you own one that's a little bit more complicated like this, there's a couple more steps involved. Hit that like button. It helps us get noticed on the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, you can get shirts. We have shirts, hoodies, flags, and I personally make all of this stuff and we ship it anywhere in the world. So if you guys want to support the channel, the link is in the description. Yeah, I'm wearing the Save the Manual shirt.
If you want more DIY videos like this to be presented to you by us in the future, be sure to write it down in the comments below.
We'll make some DIYs for you to follow and work on your own Subaru. This is after 7 hours worth of work and huffing and puffing coolant and all that stuff, and he tasted all the coolants that this car dropped. So, all right, high five, good job. Thank you.